Hello everyone, and welcome back at today's analysis. As for now, we are going to analyze none other than Leatherface, the main antagonist of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. Another immense icon in the horror genre, and a perfect example of a villain who is not supernatural in any way, Leatherface is definitely one of the most memorable and one of the most tragic villains made in this kind of genre. And in this episode we are going to analyze all that we know about him from the movies, or specifically the original movies, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1, 2, 3, 4, The Next Generation, and 2022, to better understand Leatherface and why he ended up this way. And now, let's start. Leatherface was originally born as Bubba Sawyer in Texas in the United States in 1947 into the infamous Sawyer family, a family of incest and cannibalism. And of course, because of this, Leatherface was inevitably to be born deformed. But in his case, he was born incredibly physically deformed as well as mentally retarded, to the point that he is not capable to speak, while the rest of his family are more normal in appearance and personality and are capable to function in society. But Bubba is absolutely incapable to be as such. Not to mention that because of his appearance, he hides his face behind a leather mask made from the skin of his victims. And so, he for his family became a literal butcher, killing and eating people alongside with his family to do their tradition. And so, of course, by 1974, he performed his first major massacre by targeting the siblings Sally and Franklin and their friends. But of course, Sally managed to escape, but Franklin and the others were not lucky. In order to escape the authorities, Leatherface and his family managed to relocate themselves into a neighboring town, Harlow, where Leatherface took shelter at an orphanage. And of course, a second massacre inevitably came in 1987. When this time Leatherface targets a literal party, only to kill the DJ and as many people as he can find. But of course, thankfully, he has failed once again in killing absolutely all his targets. In the third massacre, he's now in the forest, where now Leatherface lives alongside with his siblings and finds a survivalist named Benny. But of course, thankfully, Benny managed to survive him and literally beats Leatherface with a rock. And now a fourth massacre officially happens, when now Leatherface officially hunts down lost people and murders them, as well as the possibility that he might be some sort of an agent of an Illuminati conspiracy theory. But of course, that thankfully was just a theory. And now, before we continue, we all stop and ask ourselves, is Leatherface evil? Because of the fact that while it's undeniable that what he's doing is absolutely horrible and evil, can be ignored the fact that Leatherface is mostly a tragic kind of evil, given the fact that, much like Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, which I analyzed back in my 18th episode, he is pretty much was born both mentally and physically retarded, and pretty much had little to no moral awareness of what he's doing. And much like Pinhead from Hellraiser from the 94th episode, he was dragged in his life against his will. In his case, he is forced by his family to become who he is, not to mention that he genuinely cares about his family and kills mostly to provide for them, thus proving that Leatherface, despite his insanity and lack of moral awareness, is absolutely pretty much a mindless beaten dog. And in the end, the answer is ultimately both yes and no. Yes, what Leatherface is doing is evil, but not because he himself is not necessarily evil. And now, many decades later, by 2022, Leatherface resurfaces again. As now the town of Harlow is officially deserted. And a member of group of young entrepreneurs officially are hunted down by Leatherface in order to kill them, so they wouldn't be able to gentrify the town. And he successfully kills almost all of them except for one member. And now Leatherface is still likely alive and well, returning back to his home. So in the end, who is Leatherface? He is nothing more but a simple man born with immense physical and mental problems, a man that will be forced into a life of misery and evil in order to provide for his loved ones, and a man that could easily be called as one of the most iconic horror villains ever created. Thanks for watching, don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and have a nice day.